Doc and Howlett here after quite a while, just to bring you guys a quick video. Of course, some comic books. Just been so busy with life and everything. It's, you got to do life before you do this, really. Unless this was a moneymaker for me, and it's really not. So, all right. So, yeah. First, I just want to show you a couple of new comic books. Just give you my current thoughts on some of the things that are happening right now, and that I'm collecting, and then I'll show you a couple of cool back issues, and I'm really trying to just pick up the things that I want to really enjoy. I know there's a lot of cool things out there, but I don't want to overexhaust myself on things as well too. So yeah, so first let's start with this. Of course, I really want to read the big event, just so I'm stay current with what's really happening. So this is issue number 5 that I just read. The story's okay. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not really good or bad for me. Of course, it's not living up to the first Civil War, that's for sure. But there are a couple of neat things that do happen in here. Of course, the most shocking, that happens so far in the story, not particularly this one, but just in the story so far, is the death of Bruce Banner. That's a big shocker there. So hopefully the ending of this whole story will end up being pretty good, and come to a good fruition. But yeah, it's kind of flatlined for me a little bit at the moment. So not really getting many of the other tie-ins. I think I only got 2 other tie-ins, the Spider-Man one and the X-Men one, which those 2 I couldn't give about them either. I really should have gotten them, but at least they were just short series. If nobody's read this one yet, kind of a spoiler a little bit, but the Fallen, it's kind of like, when Captain America died the first time, they had a book, I think The Fallen, and they had actually a few different books. But yes, this is going through some of the stories with some people, who are, his funeral, and kind of getting the emotions of some of the people closest to him. But spoiler, if you haven't read this, it also hints at how the Hulk will return, probably, most likely. Of course, superheroes, they never stay dead, right? So in here, in a video, I guess what it is, that Banner made for, through his living will, he gives Doctor Strange a hint into another realm of, I don't know, ghosts, I guess, and he's saying that the Hulk saw ghosts. So that's going to give you a hint on how he's probably going to come back, and he said maybe see you on the other side if it all happens to be true or whatever. So paraphrasing all that, but yeah, so that's kind of neat. I don't know, but as soon as I read it, I wasn't going to read this one at first, but it was there on the shelf, and it's an expensive comic book enough, but I was like, that week I only bought a couple of comic books, so I was like, well, whatever, it's sitting on the shelf here, I'll spend a couple more bucks. So I'm kind of glad I got it just for that, because, I did want to know eventually how he does come back. So there's a hint into that. All New Wolverine, just read this one. This was a pretty good issue too. Some neat information comes about Gabby there. Of course, this is part of the Civil War tie-in thing, so it's kind of a Wolverine X-23 versus Old Man Logan, and it was neat. It was interesting. I liked it. The whole current state of Laura Kinney, X-23 being Wolverine, so far it's been pretty good, enjoyable enough. Of course, it's not, the real Wolverine, I guess, but she's doing good enough of a job being the Wolverine. The comic book, the writing, for me, it's good enough. I'm enjoying it enough. It's not really good or bad, but it's kind of like this. Like, it's good. It's above average, and then it kind of gets these little high points, and it just kind of, it's got a pulse, right? So it's got these little high points that are really enjoyable, really fun when they hit those little pulses. So yeah, so far good enough with this as well too. And of course, reading the all new X-Men with her in it as well too. That's okay, comic book as well too, but again, nothing is good as the real Wolverine. Old Man Logan, of course, yeah, in the Old Man Logan book I'm reading too. That's okay as well too. Interesting, because it's interesting, but I mean, how to say it? Old Man Logan storyline, that future story, I mean, that was ultimately the best. It's really cool to delve into the background, and how the character is, seeing these people. But of course, it's all different timeline, right? Now that he's back in this timeline, things are very changed, and that's just kind of really messes with his mind. And mind messing is definitely a theme with Wolverine. So it is interesting enough, but again, like I say, just everything Old Man Logan X-23 doesn't hold to the original Wolverine, really, right? Of course, I got a soft spot for the real Wolverine. And this one as well, too. This one was interesting. This is issue number 18 of Spider-Man. Loving the covers from Alex Ross. Really cool. Just shows some of the background of Doc Ock, how he's coming back. You've been getting hints for a while, and that his brain was in the whatever robot there. I can't remember the robot's name. But yeah, so you get a little more background on that, and of course it's setting up for the next storyline where Doc Ock is going to be coming back, and of course Slott's still writing all this stuff, and it's been great. I mean, love Superior Spider-Man stuff. It's great. So, we'll see how strong it holds when Doc Ock finally comes back. That's going to be really interesting. Okay, so now to get into a few back issues. Really interesting. Back issues have really slowed down for me as well too. Just trying to save, money and like I say, get the specific things that really want to, grow my collection in a particular direction. A lot of them are X-Men stuff, but the ones aren't X-Men that I'm going to show you here. But some of the highlights that I've gotten probably since the last time you saw a video. So first one here too, this one is Wolverine related, right here, an older one. Here's an anthology comic. Took it out of the bag just to show you guys inside. Not in the best of shape, but good enough, I think, for sure. But if you notice there, not English, it's the Italian, an Italian book here from 1977, an anthology. It has, of course, Spider-Man, which I believe this is the cover for 152, which is presented in here. And then there's a Daredevil comic book as well. And then, of course, why I got it. Let's see if I can flip to there. There you go. That's why I got it, because it has the Hulk 181 in it. And I have quite a few already Hulk 181 reprints. So this is just the Italian, like I say, from 1977. I also have the German reprint as well too. I have a Spanish, I have a French Canadian, I have another anthology. Notes in the drawer there. I have the British magazine reprint. So I'm just keep going with those. I really like it. I mean, if I had the money, I'd keep collecting Hulk 181s. I'd have a few of them. I only have one of the originals for now, of course. Well, you can't see too much with a bright light, but right there, that's a Hulk 181. Well, where's my finger going? Yeah, I can't figure it out. 180, 181, 182. So down below here, there's the French Canadian. You got the German one right there, and Spanish. So those are some of the highlights there too. So add this to it. I think that's pretty cool. All right, I'll add that to that. And then the other thing, I thought this was neat. This was so cheap, so I had to get this. I mean, who could pass this up? Book seems to be in pretty good condition for what it is. And that's this right here, Fantastic Four. Reprinting of what issue now? I can't remember. It's with Dr. Doom. I can't even remember. But it is Power Record 13, the 45 record. See, look at all the gloss. So nice, lots of shine. Of course, little bent on the corners a little bit, but for $2, couldn't pass it up. And of course, yes, comes with a 45 in like perfect condition. I did play it. I have a very terrible record player. I think the amplifier on it is messed up, and I'm not really good with that kind of stuff, so I don't know, I really had to put my ear to it and listen to it. But I mean, the record is good, I know that, but the record player, the amplifier was messed up. So maybe eventually, if I get more power records, which are so far, I mean, this is really cool to collect. I mean, getting these power records, that was really cool. One of the harder to find Wolverine issues, you know, of course, getting the first appearance in his first series. In the first series, is the Wolverine 145. There's a few different variants. Of course, got the Nabisco one already over there, which is probably the most expensive one right there. Bill Sienkiewicz cover, really awesome. Is this variant right here? This is the Wolverine 145 Dynamic Forces variant. I got number 1025 out of 3,000 copies. So the cover, if you can really see it through the mylar, I'm not going to take it out, sorry, but you might be able to see some glimpses there. See how kind of shiny it is? The whole thing is like a foil, hollow sort of. It's got this whole entire shine from top to bottom on the cover. So it's really kind of cool, you know, thicker cover paper, and that's what really neat. So the artwork isn't nothing new. The artwork is actually a panel from inside the comic book, and then of course they just blew it up for the cover, and then they put the whole shine on it. But yes, it's definitely one of the harder to get issues. So that's really cool. So that'll go beside some of my greats there. Oh yeah, the last thing, and a quick story about this one. This comic book, I sent it out and it took a year to get back to me, just over a year. I'm kind of happy and disappointed at the same time, so let me tell you a quick story. Was it 2 years ago, was going to go to a Comic-Con, Stanley was supposed to be there, he didn't show up. One of the books that I was going to get him to sign, I decided to send out. I wouldn't, because I didn't know when I'd ever see Stan again. I sent it out to a company, I'll leave them nameless for now, and they were going to get some signatures for me. 3, in fact. One of them being Stan Lee. That was the first one. But I saw on the list of the people that they were going to go to, they're going to a tour, basically, and having different people sign. So I ended up getting 3 people signing it. And, yeah, like I say, I eventually did see Stan again. And what else did I get from there? I can't remember. But then the following year, of course, I saw Stan. But yeah, this took over a year to get back to me. I guess I might as well just show it. Here it is. Amazing Spider-Man 300. Of course, the first appearance of, first full appearance of Venom. So this is my first CBCS. Came back as an 8.5 grade. I was definitely happy with that. And the bag, definitely really cool. If you have any of the others, CGC or PGX, the bag, this is a much better bag to actually look through. So that's pretty cool. And already, see, this is before they updated now. Now, CBCS already has an updated case and like a hollow for their symbol here. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So besides some kind of administration problems with the billing and whatever, and which in part took so long for me to get my book back, it was actually, let's see, the signatures, 3 signatures. I have it signed by David Michelini on the October 14th, 2015, and Stan Lee on November 1st at 2015, and Todd McFarlane on November 13th. So his was actually 2nd. Yeah, no, yeah, last year. So, like I say, got them all. Those are the dates. So from there, of course, then I went to grading and then back to the office of the people that I sent it through, the third party. And it took that long, I mean, for things to come back to me. So a little disappointed with that. Like I say, mix up with some of the billings. And then, of course, this. If you really look, you can see what's kind of messed up about it, in which I'm disappointed. I mean, it's really cool. It's signature series still, but not that I'm really was planning on selling it or anything like that. This is my only copy of this. But every collector wants something perfect enough for resale value. You want the value there. And I think this signature, it is not very appealing to others. The Todd McFarlane anyways. The Stan Lee, great. Enjoy it. David McLeany, a little dark, but still legible. It's good enough as a signature. But the Todd McFarlane one is just really gross blob. I hate that. So I did get in contact with a company that I went through to get this. So I actually sent out another book. We come up with a deal, and I got another book that I sent off for another Todd McFarlane signature. Hopefully, the special request will be fulfilled, because Todd, obviously, he signed it with something else. He signed it with a paint marker, and the handler, or Todd, one or the other, just really just jacked up this signature. It got squashed in there before it was even dry. Why an artist, I think, would even choose to use a paint marker like that on a book? They should know. I mean, doing hundreds of thousands of signatures probably just would mess up the book. I just don't understand that. So yeah, like I say, there's goods and bads about this, but it's definitely not my favorite book, I guess now, signed book. But as far as the encapsulation and everything like that, that was fine. But yeah, we'll see. It'll at least make it up for it if that book comes back. I'll show it to you when it gets back, and if it's not all jacked up from Todd again. So, and this would be my first signature from Todd McFarlane, so it's kind of disappointing on that too. I've never gotten any signatures messed up like this before. That's just kind of crazy. That's goofy. Okay, well, that's that, you guys. That's what I've been doing as a comic book collector for the last while. If you guys got any comments or questions, put them down below. I'd love to talk to you guys, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.